Hello, this is Paul Ireland from a company called Abstract Worlds Limited. We're a small software development house based in Northamptonshire, UK, and today we're going to demonstrate our new game called Maze Racing Robots, and this is a new game for a new platform, which is the Samsung Internet at TV platform. Now this is a new platform that is available on Samsung's new Blu-ray players and their TVs, and what we're demonstrating today is, if you look at the bottom of the screen, this is where all the work's being done. This is the Samsung Blu-ray player. It's a BD-C5500, which you can pick up in the UK now for about £100 if you shop around. You don't have to have a Samsung TV. We're actually demonstrating this on a different TV. This TV is a 720p high def TV, so just to demonstrate, you don't need to have the full HD if you don't need to. But this game also works on full HD as well. And the screen at the moment is the main Blu-ray player screen, and what I'll do is select Internet at TV. This takes us into this screen where you can see what applications or apps have been downloaded onto your device. The device itself has got an internet connection. Now with the BD-C5500, that has an Ethernet connection at the back. You can also get a dongle for wireless if you want to, or you can get some of the other devices. I think the BD-C6500, which has wireless built in. I'm just going through the apps at the moment, and I've selected the app that we've created, and that's Maze Racing Robots. If I click on that, then takes us into the game. And what you'll see here is the initial splash screen. We try to make it a bit more interesting by animating it. We've got a menu system at the bottom which you can control using the cursor keys on your remote. The green box at the top, that rotates some text, so it gives you an idea of how to use the game, although you don't really need to know much to play this game. It's a very simple game. And what I'll do at the moment, we've got two main modes of playing the game. One is the sit back mode, where you just watch the two robots race and guess who wins, and the other mode is where you take control of a robot and try and beat the other robot. I'll demonstrate the first mode first. Now the sit back mode, one of the challenges of developing for this type of device is that you've got to make it a bit easier to play than typical games. Typical games that you might find on consoles or mobile phones involve a bit more interactivity, but with this kind of platform you've got to assume that the person's going to be sitting quite a way back from the screen and just using the remote, and obviously there's not much you can do in terms of interactivity with just a simple remote control. Added to this sit back experience, what we've done with this mode is to make it completely sit back, so you don't actually have to do anything. All you have to do is sit in your chair and look at the screen and make a guess at which robot's going to win. This doesn't have to be a single player game at all, because obviously in a living room you can have a lot of people sitting back and doing the same thing as well, and that adds to the element of fun, because obviously you can have guesses between the family or friends as to who's going to win. Sometimes people might want to change their guess halfway through. You never know what's going to happen with these robots. Sometimes they can make an odd turning, just like the one on the left has done now, and sometimes it can be a very close race. Sometimes it's an easy win. But at a guess, at the moment I'd probably say that the robot on the right is just going to get this, but it could be close, and I could be wrong. That was a close one and I was wrong, and the robot on the left won. Once it goes into the next game, you should be able to see that the mazes are different each time. We've got a random maze generator within the game, so that keeps the game interesting. the levels are different each time you play them. Just to demonstrate that a bit more, if I press the return button, which brings back up the menu, and then click on that option to go into that game again, if I do that a few times, you should be able to see the maze changing each time, which is good for replayability. It keeps things interesting, and it's also good if you want to choose a maze that you think is a bit more challenging, a bit more close. There you go. Now I'm saying that with the sit back version of the game, you can just decide to sit back and have a guess. If you want to take this game a bit more seriously, once you start looking at how the robots try to solve the maze, you'll probably find that the robot on the left makes a lot more left turns, and the robot tries to keep a wall to its left hand side, whereas the robot on the right makes a lot more right hand turns and tries to keep a wall on its right hand side. And once you understand the way that the different robots try to solve the maze, when you first see the mazes at the start of the game, you can go through in your mind working out which robot is more likely to win that game. So if you want to take the game a bit more seriously and challenge yourself, then you can go to that level as well by trying to work out which route the robots are going to take, whether the robot's going to go into a dead end. I think at this point, obviously the robot on the left is going to a dead end because he's making left turns and he's going up to that corner, which is a dead end. But the robot on the right is going to make some dead end turns as well because he keeps turning right. So again, it is a bit close-knit as to which robot will actually win this game. I'd say the robot on the left because he's a bit closer, and the robot on the right is going into another dead end at the moment. There you go. Alright, so that's the sit back and watch version of the game, but obviously if you want to get a bit more involved, then there's the player version of the game, which is where you control the left robot. Go into there. Now at the moment I'm not doing anything. The control is via the remote, the arrow keys, so it's simply a case of pressing the arrow keys to get the robot to move around. You don't have to keep pressing them or keep pressing them down. So for me to do that, I've probably clicked on the remote about 6 or 7 times. Again, I'll click now. Click again. Click again. Click again. Click again. Click again, and that should take me to the end. So you should get an idea that it's not too taxing. You're not going to get thumb strain by playing this game, so it should be quite enjoyable, and it still adds to the sit back version of the game. Just demonstrate this. Obviously I can't make any left turns or right turns when there's walls in the way, so at the moment the only place I can go is where the walls dictate. I can stop the robot if I want. But it looks like I'm going to lose on this one. Close, but I lost. So there you go. Just to end on a winning note. There you go. Click return, and that's the Maze Racing Robots game. Only other things to say about the game is that we're using random generated mazes to keep the maze is different each time you play it. The game itself, it's just over a megabyte in size, so it's not going to take up too much room on your device. We used 3D animated graphics for the robots, and we've implemented some artificial intelligence, so at least the robots can have a good chance of solving the maze and sometimes beating you. So I hope you enjoy playing this game once you get your Samsung Internet TV device, and thanks for watching.